My final guest tonight is one of the finest Irish actors of his or any other generation. In a career spanning over 50 years, he has lit up Hollywood, Broadway and the West End with award-winning ease in classics such as Someone to Watch Over Me, The Crying Game, Playboy of the Western World and Michael Collins. From Beckett through to Brexit, his performances and his principles continue to set him apart as both an artist and a voice for change. We're delighted to welcome him back to the Late Late Show. Give it up for Mr. Stephen Rea. There you go. Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Sure, what about it? We were looking at this during the week. 70 movies, over 30 stage plays. You're still looking like a young fella. What is the secret? Is it hard work or fast living?
Well, you got their numbers a bit wrong.
Okay.
I've done 100 movies and I've done 100 plays as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know, Stephen, we're not great at sums here at RTE.
No.
So
I know. Very good. Well done.
Let's see if I can carry my fives and my fours there. So, what's the highlight been for you? I mean, there's so many, highlights for me. V for Vendetta, The Crying Game. I mean, is it for you the Oscar? Is it becoming an internet meme?
Being a Unicef ambassador, that's the best thing. I thought they weren't going to applaud.
You've been doing that for a while, haven't you?
A good while, yeah. Maybe 15 years, I think. Yeah.
We're going to come on to. We're going to come on to all of that. I know that you've been on a trip. Tell us, where have you been with Unicef?
I went to Somalia recently, last year, which was pretty shocking, of course. These places are. There's famine, there's malnutrition, there's. The worst thing really is climate change. You've got floods and drought, and the poor people in Somalia have not been responsible for climate change. They're on the receiving end of the results of climate change. So that's pretty shocking there. One of the things I found most shocking was this. I saw this in this camp where people moved to get back into life in some way. She'd walked for 2 weeks with 5 or 6 children, one of whom had died on the way. And she was trying to breastfeed her youngest child, and she hadn't eaten herself for ages, and she'd run out of fuel, and I just thought, this is so shocking, that people suffer like that,
One of the biggest humanitarian crises that we have at the minute is Gaza. Unicef are also doing amazing work there under horrific circumstances.
The worst circumstances in the world for children to be in. I haven't been to Gaza, but we know that there's 1 million children running about without parents or family, just on their own, and there's so much going on. The worst diarrhea thing, from which children can die, is now beyond imagining, and the UNICEF people there, they're so heroic, and it's just important that we keep an eye on it. Things are not so bad for us here, and we should be grateful for that. Be generous to our. I think be generous to those who have come here to try and find a better way of life.
You are someone who I always have looked up to in terms of what you do with your work and the fact that you take a stand and, you know, what you believe in. Is it harder these days in a world where there's so much suffering and so much injustice for someone like you to get the message out?
Well, I just do what I'm asked. You know, somebody asked me to do, I worked on a book of poetry with Jessica Traynor, a lovely poet, Irish poet, you know, for direct provision, you know. I couldn't do everything, but if I'm asked to do something, I find it impossible to resist it. You know, just, we have to help each other, you know. Sorry, that sounds so pious and irritating, but, you know, we have to.
You're talking there about how we treat other people. Ireland's changing a lot. It's changing quickly. Do you think we're up to the task? Are we doing enough here?
Well, I must say I was very encouraged by Michelle. I think about, you know, I feel, you know, she's handling the Northern thing very well. And that's a relief. I don't know if we're doing enough. Housing, health, education, these are what we expect from a republic that people died to create. You have to provide those things for your citizens. I'm being biased.
No, not at all. I mean, you know, it's not often you start a show with a Sinn Féin First Minister of Northern Ireland and you end it with the actor who did Gerry Adams' voice during the broadcasting ban. I mean, when you look back on that, like, we have come a long way, though, haven't we?
Well, just, you know, the interesting thing about doing Gerry A's voice was that it was actually the great journalist Mary Holland who asked me to do that. I didn't volunteer. You see, it's again, you get asked, you do it, you know. But
lots of people say no, though. But this is how you.
No, I can't. It was a time when they wouldn't allow Republicans to express their opinion. And Mary called me up and said, look, I've got this interview with Gerry Adams and I'm hearing a different message, which was, and she said, I think the public need to hear this. So they asked me to voice sync Gerry, you know, so that his actual words would be heard, even if it wasn't him, the sense of what he was trying to say. So I did that, and of course it changed everything, you know, and so everybody's got to do a little bit, you know.
Whenever I look at your work and writ large through it is the idea of identity. It's something that you always come back to, and I was interested in the thing you said not so long ago, that you think that your own identity, it's still constantly changing and constantly evolving.
Well, I think if it doesn't evolve, you're dead. Your identity's supposed to change. It's supposed to change. My identity changes if I listen. And I heard the band playing there, and I thought it was fantastic. I mean, just, a bit different, feel a bit different. I'm somebody else now. It's good. And if you don't, if you don't change your identity, then you end up like DUP. Michelle's changing her identity. She's alive, you can see it.
It's about trying to move things forward, really, isn't it?
It is, of course.
That's what it's about.
Yeah. I mean, do you change your identity? You always look the same to me.
I do when I meet that woman. It's I think it's true. You know, we all do. Our identities are constantly in flux. In terms of the work that you've done and the stuff where I think you've been ahead of the game. You know, I wanted to talk about The Crying Game. How far ahead of its time do you think that film was?
Oh, that was, I mean, it was completely ahead of its time. I mean, talk about identity. It was about the identity of race, gender. It was about everything. Sexual preference, everything. And I thought it was a great film, a truly great film.
We have a little clip here of you doing your stuff.
Oh, no.
Looking pretty much exactly the same. I'm not going to lie. Here he is.
Don't ask me in.
Please, Jimmy.
No. Can't pretend that much.
I miss you, Jimmy.
Yeah? Should have stayed a girl.
Don't be cruel.
Okay. Be a good girl. Go inside.
Only if you kiss me.
Now you happy?
Delirious.
Oh, that's a beautiful moment.
And of course, that got you the Oscar nomination.
Yeah. But I had a nicer jawline then.
I love the fact that we're all looking at how amazing that is, and you're going, "Oh, I need a bit of a."
No, that's the most perfect, beautiful scene in the whole film. Because he kisses her and can't leave. Or kisses him. And he knows that he loves her. See what I mean?
You see, you're a man who is constantly moving forward. You're constantly looking forward. Where can we see you next? Are you going to be on the screen of the stage for us?
Well, I've just finished a run here of the Samuel Beckett play, Krapp's Last Tape. And we'll be continuing that later on in the year. And I'm going to do
Which you were getting amazing reviews for.
Certainly. I wouldn't do it if no, that's true. Anyway, it's a wonderful play, wonderful production. You know, the standard of both film and theatre is huge now compared to when I started a long time ago. But you know, it's wonderful what Cillian's doing, and it's I hope he but it doesn't matter. He's having a great career anyway, so he doesn't have to.
Look, he's having a great career, and they say that people stand on the shoulders of giants, and you are one of those giants. We thank you for being it. Give it up one more time for Stephen Rea.
Sorry, I'm a mess.
If you want to know more about the work of Unicef and what they are currently doing in Gaza and around the world, you can visit unicef.ie.
On the late show.
One of our greatest actors of stage and screen, Stephen Rea, will be here. We're back after these. Still to come, Stephen Rea will be here, celebrating over 50 years, lighting up the stage and screen. We'll be back after these.